There is a war that rages in the lives of each and every believer, but it is up to us to stand our grounds and cultivate a meaningful relationship with the Lord.
Good day to you, sir. How are you doing? I was informed about the mighty conflict that you are facing on this battleground, and I was sent as your reinforcement partner in this battle that has left you scared and in desolation.
Who told you that? I'm quite okay, if I can say so myself. Look around, the battle is already over, and enemy is nowhere to be seen.
Just because the enemy is not in plain sight, it doesn't mean that the enemy is not around us. Furthermore, if you are a believer, there is always warfare raging daily all around us, and that's why we need each other to overcome our one common enemy that believers and non-believer faces each and every day, one way or the other.
Okay, them as you carefully put it. I do know that, but to tell you the truth, the warfare I face is more than you can imagine, and sometimes I truly think that the Lord give the toughest battles to his soldier that are truly sold out to him and his purpose.
What are you really saying? That I don't have my share of battles that comes my way and others don't have to face their daily share of the warfare that is prone to come because of the simple fact that we decided to follow Jesus in all his ways and shun the very appearance of darkness all around us and in our lives?
I have heard this all before, and do you think I'm going to fall for that trick again? At the beginning of our walk with Christ, we're told to give our lives to Jesus. Not knowing what it meant, some of us was forced into Christianity with the fear of going to hell, and when all hell breaks loose there is no one to help us up. So what are you saying, Pastor? Look around, the battlefield is empty. Thanks to the Lord.
You sound a bit angry about something, but I can't quite put my fingers on it. But nevertheless, I'm here for you.
I see you have nothing much to say, but why should you? I guess you are one of those pastors that give out that false sense of assurance. Come on, shame on you.
My son, I am here because you say you needed help, but the way you are acting, it is unbelievable.
That is because I don't want to hear no more lies. Shall the gospel be preached? Let it be preached, and teach with truth, abiding it in, or else it is useless, wouldn't you say, Pastor?
What you say is quite so, but the Bible warned us about these days. And that we must take heed to sound doctrine, and not to be motivated by every wind that blows. So it is clearly up to us to study the word of the Lord and meditate on it and apply it to our life. In this day and age, there are many false teachers that has gone out to deceive many. Son, I really sympathize with you and feel your pain, because it seems to me you have been a victim to deception.
There is more at stake here than what I am facing, because many are dying and going to hell, one way or the other, and we who are carrying his truth remain silent, as the masses are being ripped off and destroyed, because of the failure of not following godly advice and their lack of knowledge towards the word, and failing to ask for help from those that are deep-rooted in the faith. We must step away from pride and self-righteousness, because these only blocks us from our purpose and true callings.
Well said. The word cautions us against these things, and that is why it is reasonable for us as believers to stand in unity with each other and allow the will of God to manifest without manipulation of men and their custom that has blocked the Lord's hands from moving in our life. I was told that you weren't doing well. That's why I came along, to see if I can render assistance to you and others that may be hurting, but by the looks of things it seems you are doing quite well. Come to think of it,
is that the truth behind all you are seeing? At what perspective did you come up with that conclusion? From the spiritual eyes or the physical eyes, or what other standpoint? If not, you got to dig deep for what you are seeing on the outside. It is not necessarily always so. For everyone has faces, Pastor. I think it time for us to be observant. Because we are oftentimes fooled by the outward act or appearance of someone's smiling face, but some of them are dying inside. But it takes someone who is led by the Spirit to go deeper, beyond the naked eyes, to see such a reality in some of the deception behind us, and that's why deliverance is not taking place anymore in some churches and our lives, and one wonder why there is so much backsliding in the house of God.
You have said a lot, and just how are you contributing to the change that you speak of? If we truly identify the problem, there must be a solution, and I guess talking about it is not the most effective way of dealing with it. This sort of think, breathe gossip, and you got to come up with something that I can stand on, or better yet make reference to. The word cautions us to be our brother's keeper, and that we must pick the beam out of our own eyes before trying to remove the plank from out of others' eyes. I guess that is called self-evaluation, wouldn't you say, brother?
Nicely said, but am not seeing no action from you. That's why I tried to do it myself with the aid of the Lord. Because with that attitude nothing is going to change. And change must come one way or the other, when we apply godly principles in the midst of the believer's life, through the teaching and preaching of the gospel, and that is when faith is built up on, and the mindset of both the unsaved and believer's life changes momentarily.
You have said a lot, but in the end your salvation begins and ends with you and the choices you make. Every believer will have to work out their salvation daily, with fear and trembling, with accountability and repentance, and once there is conviction and the fear of the Lord, you will stand.
To be honest with you, I really appreciate the fact that you came to stand with me on this battleground, but the real battlefield is the mind, and if we don't get a renewed mindset, we have lost the battle before even starting the fight. Because whether you like it or not, the battles will come. And we got to take a stand.
That is so, and that's why it is important for us to build a relationship with the Lord. and strive to keep it at all cost. With prayer, meditation, fasting and thanksgiving, and don't forget that life of repentance always coming into His presence broken with honesty in your hearts.
I thank you for the time you have spent with me on this ground, and looking all around to see where we are. I'm so thankful to the Lord for His faithfulness, that we never lost one battle. And I thank you for standing with me in unity. As it is written, one can chase 1,000 and two can put 10,000 to flight. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to see you any time you are free, that we may discuss the word of the Lord.